the windows off. Let's go that way. Oh, I forgot me. I forgot me. There we should be good. Sorry about that. Tends to get things once in a while. Alright, so we are back to Monster Rancher. Yep. Ladder game. We were doing some main story quests, we were doing some leveling up, we were doing some adventure crawls, kind of a little bit of everything. Last on. And today, we are going to go back through and check out our schedules. So he is resting, good. He is shadowboxing, lively. He's resting, good, good. Alright, rest. So the calendar. This week we have nobody qualified for anything. Next week we have Creepy, we have Ant. Following weeks. Good. Good, good, good. See, I have 3 C's. Which means I'll be able to get some B's at some point. That's good. Alright, let me check my items. Distributor, belongings, items. Do I have any? Nope. Okay, so I don't have any leftover stones. So I'm gonna continue training. We are getting pretty far. You want some food? Beef. I need to get some more beef. I have to do something about that. Maybe this week. This week could be an okay with that. Oop. Back out. Now, let's see here. We need to eat, so we can go ahead and praise him. And move on. Oh, dude's sleeping. Let's go ahead and praise him and feed him. And we'll give him some food. It's getting kind of weak. Watermelon. We'll go from there. Now let's see. There's. He needs some food as well. He has a squid. And what else do we got? We can also have some praise. last one is creepy. Ooh, it's over here. Here we go. Praise, and we'll give him some food as well. What's up, George? How's it going? What you up to tonight? You just got our little monsters running around today. Continuing this story. I've got Azure Dreams coming soon. Not quite there yet. Horrible. Let's go to Trouble. I think that's this week. Let's go ahead and go to Trouble. This should be some stories content. Welcome, Chiho. Phayne, glad you stopped by. What is it? Oh, I got some headset. That's a little too loud. Alright, there we go. What is it? Okay. There's been development of the missing Mochi instant. Really? Oh, yeah, I forgot about the Mochis. Yep, seems the Mochi ran away. They head for the jungle. Kalargaraki. Yep, I heard from a reliable source. Things are still under control, but if the situation worsens, we'll have a real problem on our hands. So it's done quickly. Okay, who are you? Oh, sorry, folks. My name is Cortez. Okay. The stray monster hunter, pleased to meet you. Are you folks investigating the Mochi crisis? Yes, we are. We are no investigators, just a little worried. Yep, that's about all we can do is stream and see who shows up and have fun. What are you streaming tonight? Let's see. Look into this. Mochi doll is infused with Mochi spirit. Mochi doll? Originally, it's a combo item, but to use it that way, you must have a strong bond and trust with the Mochi. So you can't use it that way now. But the style has a mysterious power over Mochi. It could lead to whoever's behind all this. Okay, we'll take good use of the Tao to the jungle. We'll stop the Mochi mischief. Okay. Alright. What do you want to do? I want to buy. Games on Nox. Okay. Can I get... I can't get beef. So many mega dudes like beef. Got some mushrooms. Alright. Back out. And... back out. Okay, so we're still on the Mochi hunt. Nothing there. Any more trouble? Okay. So back to the ranch then. And we'll go out from there. Alright, so schedule. We have... what do we have going on here? We have... creepy today. So we want to make sure he's good and healthy. Go ahead and rest. Go ahead and rest. And... bring 20. Which game are you looking at playing? I mean, particularly. Let's see. There he is. He's tired again. Wow. He's getting old. He's got no energy. He's always tired. Swing over here. Raise the wolf. That's the way to play Google Play Store on PC. Okay. Yeah, I knew there was a few emulators for it, but I wasn't sure what they were called. That's something that I actually have had much interest in doing. I know there's a lot of people that do it though. Can't tell you how many times I see somebody playing a mobile game on like YouTube or whatever. So I just never looked into how to do it. Most mobile games I don't find interesting long enough. But it's just me. We got a competition today. We got creepy. Yes. Let's see how we do here. Right. Match. Yes. Let's see how we did here. Because I don't expect it to be too hard though. But I did pretty hard. And we'll spit. Oh, that was beautiful. That's a good combo. I like that combo. I'll have to use that often. With that knockback plus that heavy hit. Well, he's also an intelligence user, so. You put a quit. But I'll take that. That makes my life a little easier. You know, doing the long range attacks helps. It really does. But we'll see how it works in this guy. That was good. Oh, he dodged it. I missed. Oh, guaranteed hit. Ouch. Ow, 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 ow. That's not good. Anything. He does anything, I'm in trouble. I'm done. That was not good. That hurt. Okay, well, there's still a chance I can win this. I doubt it. But there's still an outside chance. I just have to beat both of these guys. But we'll see. I mean, the creepy's been doing really well, so I don't... There's no reason you can't, as long as we, don't miss. However, missing is going to be the problem. Oh, wow. Come on. I think we guarded. Come on, hit him. That's it. He's out. So, we have to win that fight. And I have to win this next fight. If I win this one, we'll win. But it's gonna be a tough opponent. There's usually one opponent that's really hard in these. And that's the one you have to watch out for. But it's not too bad usually. Unfortunately, I'm fighting myself. Uh-oh. Come on. No, bad. Don't know. Let's stay here. That's a less damaging attack. Oh, wonderful. This is bad. I got it. Oh, that's good. Come on. Come on. No, bad. I'm toast. Alright. Bad, 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 bad. Really? No. Come on. Oh no, I need one more hit. Come on. Bad, 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 bad. Come on, come on. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Done. That was close. Oh my goodness, that was close. That was epically close. Ugh. Yes. That was a little too close. He's gonna be well before he's ready to go up to the next level. Yeah. But at least we won. That's all that matters. So Reddit is now mature. No. He's resting today. Good. Red Ant is picking whoever he wants. Let's do the trampoline. It's okay. He's okay. He's okay, so we're good. Now take care of that. Works for me. So let's see now. Where are we at? We are... Because Yan's the one that's up for... the fight today. You did a good job. And I think I'll give you a food. Because I have so many. And then we'll move on to what else we got? Ant. There's him. And then we have daughter who's sleeping. And last but not least, we have Tag. And we'll give him some food. He's hungry. And we'll pull out. Competition, and you should have no problems doing this. To be honest, you really shouldn't. Because he started with creepy. I just couldn't level them both up at the same time. I don't have like tag teams or anything else and stuff. So yep, you missed. Okay, so one more attack. Come on. Get in there. Thank you. That was a little more grumpy than I was expecting. Alright, so now I gotta beat is it Miller? Alright, that's Miller. See how she does. Because that's the trick here. Is knowing who to use and when to use them, and she's a pixie tiger. Come on. There we go. I think I only need to hit her once. But with high defense. Come on, Retro. How's it going? Surviving. It's been a long week, believe it or not. Even though I've had a 4-day weekend, it's been a long week. What are you up to? I'm just chilling with some Monster Rancher today, as I have been. One of these days I'll actually finish the story. But we'll see how that goes. I keep having to delay it for other projects, but, you know, we'll see how that works out. But yeah, overall, it's been good. What you been up to? Let's see. There we go. What do I put here? Rest? No, he doesn't have to rest. He can do training. Chillin', working on layout stuff for the next few weeks. Well, that's cool. Always a good idea. I like to plan a couple weeks out. Like, for the channel, I have videos through the end of the month, either recorded or in process. So but I couldn't do that if I didn't plan out my schedule. It would be impossible. Going to the jungle this week. That's what we're doing this week. I do have a few pets. I'll show them off. I have, this is Red Ant. As you can tell, he's a red ant and he's kind of hungry. They're very powerful physical fighters. I like them. They do a very good job. And over, oops, wrong way of the camera. Over here, we have my tiger, who is kind of like a horned wolf beast. I use him mostly in dungeons. You can just go random. And this is the guy you give at the beginning of the game. Garu. He's pretty cool. He's kind of a good all-around monster. And over here we have my yellow ant, also known as Yant. I'm currently trying to get his rank up. And this one is creepy. Yes, creepy is creepy. It is an undead skeletal plant. He looks kind of weird, but I love him. He is a lot of fun to work with. I didn't think it was going to be so much fun to play with creepy. We're going to go on an adventure into the jungle, since that's where our story is going. And I mean, ooh, the jungle isn't too bad, but I think I'm gonna take Tig and yeah, it's got a lot of fights coming up, so let's not take him. Let's take Creepy instead. The monster with the skull, with the flower, looks like the flower that uses the skull as a pot. Man, it looks like the flower uses the skull. Yes! Actually, yes, it does. It's a very cool monster. Crossbreed. Because the skull is from the skeleton race of monster. Here, pull up real quick. Where is it? Do I have any other information on here? Hold on, I don't know if I can access. Yeah, I'll show you. Hold on. Here we go. See, you get the flower, it's kind of growing out of the head of the skull. So it's yeah, it's cool. I like it. The flower is really cool too because it's got that multicoloring to the petals. So it kind of weavers a bit, giving kind of a surreal look. But since I want to get through this kind of quickly, so I brought Tig, so as I can ride him. Which means I get through a little faster. It really does. Alright, there's a chest over here. Definitely pick that up. Lifestyle's cool. Okay. So far, it's the coolest one I've seen. Though I have seen some other ones that were really nice previously. Though I have none of them. No, I'm good. I'm just gonna go on to the dungeon. I want to progress this story. Today, I don't want to spend all night just digging through the dungeon. Like a belladonna. You might be right. It's very possible. I'll have to look that up and see what it looks like. Hold on a second, let me look that up real quick. I'm curious now. Belladonna flower images. Yeah, it does actually. That's pretty cool. Show you the picture I found. That's it. There it is. Get above the screen. There we go. Here's the file I found for belladonna. And if we look at the plant here. There we go. Come on. They do look a lot alike. That's actually a really good call. That's something I actually noticed before. Where's the... Where'd it go? There we go. Yeah, I didn't realize that it looked like, Nightshade. I didn't think about it that way. I was trying to figure out what kind of flower it looked like a while back, and I couldn't find one. Because I knew it looked familiar. Yes, it is very poisonous. It was also used a lot in medicine. Because in small doses, the poison can actually be used to numb. So it was like a numbing agent, which they would use for like a topical cream. They wouldn't actually have you ingest it, because Nightshade is almost lethal if you ingest too much of it. But and it doesn't take much to be lethal. I have plenty of Western RPGs, and many of them use Nightshade as a rescue. They do, and that's because there is a medicinal standard for it. The Nightshade plant was used for a lot of medicines for a wide range, depending on what it was used for. It could be used as a pain reliever, it could be used as a numbing agent. It could be used as a very quiet poison because it had almost no smell if it was extracted properly. Which is why it was used heavily. Because it was used for pretty much everything. Of course, we're also talking about the same time that people used to think mercury was a cure-all around the same time, too. And that's bloody lethal. Because your body can't even process mercury. At least the poison in Nightshade your body can process. As long as it's not too heavy. But there are a lot of, nearly all poisonous plants are that way. They use them in all kinds of medical recipes. It's kind of amazing that the human race hasn't killed itself completely, just trying to figure out how to cure something as simple as a bite or a cold or whatever. It's amazing, if you ask me. Alright. And to be honest, the rideable animals like the wolf in this game are just so much more fun. Dog can't do that. Nope. Wrong one. Where's the stupid monkey? Get in there. I'm pretty sure we did. We must have learned how to cure ourselves, Connor. Exactly. I'm sure there's a lot of people who died in the experimentation looking for medications to cure disease. Some from the disease itself and some from the cures. And it would have to happen. It's just the way it works. It would just have to happen that way. At some point. We're on the 5th floor now, so I'm hoping somewhere around here we'll find the trigger we're looking for. Should be showing up in the next few levels of the dungeon. We'll have to wait and see though. Figure out where it's actually at. Look, a strength tablet. Strength tablet? I haven't seen one of those before. I'm not sure what that does for me. To be honest, I have no clue. There's a lot of different types of tablets and things in this game, but that's not what I'm familiar with. I haven't played this far into this game in ages. Probably 10 years. And I think I've only ever beat this game once. But alright, talking about medical medicine. Medicines are really a fantastic oddity. And what I find really interesting is that the chemists try to come up with all these new drugs, and they find that they just can't find medicines that work real well. And then they go to some third world country that doesn't have that disease or doesn't have that ailment at all. And they find that they eat some tree bark a couple times a year. And in that tree bark is some protein or some vitamin or some compound that causes them to not get that particular illness. But it's strange because those same people died like malaria, which is a relatively easy, it's an easily treated disease with a vaccine. But they'll die to that, but they won't die to, like, cancer or something silly. It's crazy. Medicine is truly a fascinating topic. I don't know enough about it. I wish I did. I wish I actually knew more about things like medicine and the like. You're a tough one. Come on. You're a tough little bugger, aren't you? Thank you. That works for me. Da, 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 da. So let's see here. Hopefully we can find our exit soon. Alright. Is there anything in this room? I don't think so, but it's always worth checking. See, maybe. See, I said I didn't think so, but there's a good chest in the corner. Document number 16. Well, that's more lore. That's good. True, I love hearing and learning about the science in general, which how is applied and discovered in all times. Yeah, we have a deficiency right now where the scientists don't want to hear about things that were in the past, and they don't want to admit that the older cultures and societies were more advanced than they were. Okay, so we're on this floor and we're missing something. So I need to go farther into some room somewhere. Like, what was it that they found in an archaeological dig site not that long ago that was medically related? Pumpkin Boy. Oh, I'm dead. Get that wolf out of there. That was bad. What was it? Oh, they found a couple of, needles that were, they fit inside each other, and the larger one was the size of like the large pencil lead, and the smaller one fit inside of it. And through trial and error, trying to figure out what these were for, they realized that they were for removing cataracts. Cataracts. They had cataract surgery. The exact same procedure we have now, where they put a little needle in there and suck out the bad tissue from the lens. The same procedure. And they had it like 1,000 years ago. It's crazy. The modern, I believe this absolute knowledge. Pretty sure that's stuff. Yeah, it has. It really has. I know, right? When I heard about that, it blew my mind that a Roman surgeon was able to do cataract surgery. I was just blown. It's not something I ever thought, based on our understanding of history, that they would have been capable of doing. You know what I mean? It's truly amazing. Alright, see, this is I didn't go all the way into. Oh no. Just a kid, uh-oh. I'm Garas the Great. Really? You're about to die, I just know it. And you've got quite a reading on my mochi radar. Which can only mean that you have some mochi goods on you. Sorry, but I have to ask you to leave all the mochi behind. And by you, I'm talking about the mochi back that you've kidnapped. Okay, brat. Teach you a lesson. Sure. Here we go. Okay. This will be entertaining. But yeah, I thought it was completely astounding. Oh, good Lord, that hurt. Oh no. Bad. Alright, Tiger. You can do it. I have faith in you. Thank you. That it? Got him. Apparently it flagged that. That's kind of interesting. I had to approve your message. But yes. He wasn't too bad. He did kick my poor Garu's butt. But he did a number on him. So at least I got to take the mochi with me, okay? While you were fighting the mochi, we're freed. Rio, you're talented. Rio's talented. Oh, why did you do this in the first place? Okay, so why do you want the mochi? These are commercial goods. Simba is short of mochi, so they fetch a pretty penny. And in Ima, the gentle monsters like mochi are awful popular now. Probably because the trend in Ima is to raise monsters in military style. How cruel monsters. Monsters are not products. Sure, why not? You're naive. Okay. That's good. Alright. The mochi. What about the mochi? They're saying thank you. Okay. So we gotta thank you by the mochi. Would you like to try raising a mochi? Look, they love you. Oh, by the way, Phayne hates mochi because he lost one when he was younger. How could you turn such a cutie pie down? Yeah, you're right, but let me think about it first. Yeah, apparently he doesn't like mochi. He had one when he was younger, and it died saving his life or something like that. I forget the actual story. And if you actually gave him a mochi, he throws a fit, if I remember correctly. He's like, I don't want to raise this thing. He'll raise it anyway. Cortez. So, drop by unannounced. Haven't heard about the mochi problem lately. Did you, by chance, solve it for us? Yes, we did. Sort of, but the perpetrator, Garas, ran away. Garas, yeah. Maybe I may know where you can find him. Leave it to me. Oh, and Let me return the mochi doll to you. No, you keep it. Of course, we get to keep the mochi doll now. I must be out. Okay, thanks. Take care of it. Sure. One more thing to add to my collection of weird stuff that I have no use for. Let's see, he's tired, so go ahead and rest. He's tired, go ahead and rest. He's still lively, sure. He's in a good mood. He's in a good mood. Okay, so let's see what we're talking about. Oh, we're talking about medical stuff. Yeah, everybody knows that, like, India and China, Mongolia, and so on, they were really advanced, both technologically and chemically. They had really good chemists and doctors, but they also had a lot of really good both war and non-war tech. But we don't think about the Romans, who really are not that far removed from our own society, for being that advanced when it comes to medical knowledge. We just thought they used relatively simple methods, but they really didn't. I mean, they had some really advanced technology, even for their day. And I think the most underrated society that we have in Western culture is actually that of ancient Egypt and the Mesopotamians. They did so much medically that, medically and, through art of war. And we don't give them any credit for it at all. But that has to do with the fact that the English were writing history books, and they didn't want any civilization better than their own, so they wrote the history that way. And it's a real shame. And that's when they conquered. Believe it or not, people always think about the Romans as like these great conquerors, and I'm not going to belittle it, because they were fantastic conquerors. They went through and conquered a very large portion of the Mediterranean and up through England. They did stop at Germany. They did not stand a chance in Germany, because they didn't know how to fight on that swampy terrain. So they just kind of drew a line in the sand and called it a day. Exactly. Their mummification techniques are actually, in some cases, more advanced than our embalming techniques we have now. Because they didn't have the ability to make an airtight container. So they had to make all of the bodily organs and whatnot with the right chemicals. They had to treat it so that it would decay properly and not sit there. Oh no! That was bad. The mummification process. And what's interesting, though, is we have found that mummification wasn't limited to Egypt. There were violent and big conquerors. The Roman Empire got permeated the culture of tribes, made the culture empire. Okay, so that is true to some extent. That's actually not the whole story. we see the Romans as, I'm gonna let it run on its own. These big conquerors and a brooding nation that was just expanding its borders just because, they wanted more, they were greedy. And while that was true to an extent, it's not the whole story. Most of what they were doing was trying to create a better, safer trade route. See, the one thing that Rome did was they created roads. And because they were road builders, they made, for the first time, a nice, safe route for all of the trade goods from Spain to be able to go all the way down to Egypt, but also they made the trade routes that would go through what we now know as Turkey and get all the trade routes down to almost the Indian subcontinent. And they did all of that with their roads. So what they were building and securing in order to build their empire was actually building a trade route so they could get all of the rare spices, herbs, fabrics, the things that were lavish and rich that they wanted out of India and China, and making a safe route to get those to Rome. But it was more of that expansion of trade routes that they wanted, which caused them to knock down and dominate all those tribes. So they had all these wandering tribes out there, and they made the trade routes unsafe. So you beat them down, you build a city, you put them into submission, you make them either slaves or conscripts, and after a few years, you now have a safe trade route between that city and nearby cities. All those wandering masses then became farmers, they became soldiers, they became the guys that supported and defended those roads. Whereas before, they were the ones that were attacking the roads. So it gave them this great economic power on top of the political and military might. And for a long time, you couldn't match the Roman army. The one army that bested them time and time again was actually the Mongols. Now, that was towards the end of the Roman expansionist period, when Rome was actually starting to crumble politically because it couldn't hold everything together. Oh no, it's a mochi! Why do we have a mochi? What? Is that you? It's a mochi. So that was your mochi after all. Talt. Haven't seen her in a while. Oh, Talt. After I heard the story, I started asking around. I asked vets about Mochi who came in with injuries. One Mochi was brought to Age Island a few years ago. The time and place matched it, so it made me wonder. And wow, it was your Mochi after all. Oh, wow. Okay, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't have a slot for it. Well, she's getting up there, so she can't fight anymore. She lives comfortably with many friends. Thank goodness she's... Oh, sounds good. Okay. Look, I'll let you know. This shows that you've made a bond with the Mochi, and you will be able to regenerate a Mochi. I see. Let's do it. Okay. So, we'll get the, I'm so glad for you. Let's regenerate one right away. Alright, so apparently if I go to the shrine, I can generate a Mochi. Yeah, the history isn't. Whenever you look at history, always remember to ask the questions, because it's not what you think it is. It's really not. So it's on the back. Well, yeah, they are. But if you look at, if you look at Europe, and you look at an old map from where Rome built the roads through Europe, you will find that when we start building modern roads, they're on the same lines. So the road from Paris to Rome, let's say, which kind of goes through, well, 3 or 4 different countries, through the mountains, was originally the Roman road. And they just built a concrete road over the top of the original stone road. We still use Roman roads to this day in Europe. We still have medicine that's based on Roman medicine. It's really, really crazy. Alright, so... No, hold on. I want to do a shrine. I don't want to do the shrine, I want to do the book. That's what happens when you're talking and hitting the wrong buttons. It's crazy. I love history. I wouldn't mind studying it more. I just wish I had, the money and time, because that's big of the problems. Okay, so this is for training gadget. Alright, so I have to wait for the gadget guy to show up. Alright. Let's go to the book. So based on that conversation, so one in the book now. No? So I'm not sure I'm supposed to build emoji, but I don't have room for one anyway, so I just don't have room. Everybody back in action here. Makes us happy to see that. Alright. And over here, he's got the... I love this. The wash tub. You think they're gonna take a bath? Nope. It's to whack themselves in the head with it. Oh, no. No, I'm okay with 24-hour days. Because if we had 60-hour days, that means I'd have to spend at least 20 hours at work. And when I think about spending 20 hours at my job, at my day job, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can spend 20 hours in a sitting at my work. It's too boring. I mean, if I could study history, as a history major or archaeologist or something, and do that for a living, I would so do it. Unfortunately, that's not what I went to school for, so. Because at the time, I couldn't find a program that was accepting history majors. There wasn't one I could find, so I'm like, well, if I can't find one before I go into college, I might as well find a degree that I can do something with. And unfortunately, I just never got back to it officially. But yeah, I'd have no problem spending a large amount of time, studying things that I actually like. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this guy. He needs to eat. But, it's the way life works. When bills are more important than what you want to do for a living, you gotta balance yourself out. Alright, so Yant is up this week. And we'll let him do the thing. And we'll see what that comes out with. Alright. Alright, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Actually, I'm pretty impressed. We've gotten pretty far. I'll let him go. Let's see how he does on his own. Considering we're only an hour in tonight, and we've actually gotten pretty far. I'm pretty impressed. Because we've done a dungeon crawl, we've done several these fights, and we'll see how this guy does on his own. That wasn't too bad. That was actually pretty good. Tara is up. Ugh. Okay. We'll let them do it. Shucks, I always arrive late. I missed most of that. Most of what? The fight? What? Huh? Or the stream? No, I start my stream at 9 o'clock Eastern on Friday. I stream every Friday, starting around 9 o'clock. Sometimes I'm running a little late. If I have a late dinner or there's something else going on that I have to take care of. But I usually try to start right around 9 o'clock for the stream. So, and I do tend to post streams more than a week out. I haven't done so the last couple of weeks because they've been kind of ad hoc for Halloween. I did, because I had like polls up for Halloween stream, and then I was given a visual novel. So I did that the following week. That was the last 2 weeks. And this is the first time I'm back into this game. And tomorrow I'm debating if I'm gonna stream. Because I'm gonna play Claire de Lune. I've been wanting to play that for a while, and I finally went on sale for Halloween. And I was debating if I wanted to stream that one or just record it. And then release it as 30-minute episodes like I do a lot of the other games that I'm playing. Ah, the Gadget Dude's back. Sweet, I have a new gadget for you. I need to appraise a stone. This is the first time I've appraised this gadget. Apparently, this gadget is a fan. I'll add this to your gadget list. No, I just have the one. So, do I have room? Alright, yes. Let's see how big this fan is. 2 by 4. So it's 2x4. 2x4? Oh my gosh. It's the size of this can, except it's too wide. Oh my god, no, we don't have room for that. We need a bigger house. My goodness. Command, yes, we're good. Since yeah, we're good. Alright, so Jake has become very mature. So he is now an old man. Okay. Schedule. He's set to rest, he's set to rest, he can set to rest. He's good, he's good. Nope. I know. I buggered that one. So this week, we cannot do anything. So we need to go back to the new town this week. Sweet. There's that story up. We have Rant next week. No one on the D train. And then Rant again, and he will go to B for Lucky. And then Ant is up. And if any luck's there, he will go to D. Cool. Alright, so let him do that thing. Works for me. But like I said, I stream every Friday. Race. So you can kind of keep that on your calendar if you want to drop by. Like I said, I usually stream Monster Rancher right now. But I've been debating on switching it out for a different game. Just to stream something different. I just haven't decided what the new one's gonna be. Because going up every week right now, I have Dot Hack. I'm currently on Mutation. I think we're about halfway done with that now. And I have Creepy, who's over here. And then I have what else do I have coming out this week? Tomorrow is a Dot Hack Mutation. Sunday is Class of Heroes. Monday is Dot Hack Mutation. Tuesday is nothing. So that might be Azure Dreams. And then Wednesday is what is Wednesday? Wednesday is A Tale of Their Iris. Thursday is An Empty Day. And Friday I stream. So that's pretty much the week for both my streaming calendar. And I also sometimes stream on Saturday. But I usually just record on Saturday night. Because I don't always get a chance to record during the week. But if I am well ahead, like right now I'm really far ahead on my recordings. So I might stream on Saturday. Because I can. So I always have something going on. Whether I'm streaming or I'm releasing new videos. And it's on the Twitter feed. I announce it every day, usually about 2:30, 3 o'clock my time. Hey, welcome. So what are you gonna do? Okay, so we have nothing here. Associations, if there's anything there, nope. Go to university. Okay. He's a bit too serious if he's letting up a bit. You know what? I'm gonna have to raise emoji. I have to activate emoji. This is bad. I don't have room for emoji. And Gary's not quite retirement age yet. See. Where is it? What screen is it on? Policy lenient. Passionate. Fat. He's fat. That's funny. Let's see now. Likes Phayne, dislikes references. He is 2 years, 2 months old. I don't know how long he'll live. So I don't really want to send him to, the fridge. But I want to advance the story. That's bad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna save. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna save. System, save. Not on that save file, no. That's a different save file that I was playing with. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Gary probably on ice. Retire. I really don't want to retire him, but we're gonna retire him. Yes. One Crowley frozen dude. Back to the ranches. So now that I have a space, we can see the shrine. See if we can generate emoji. So it'll be create from saucer, yes. Oh, I didn't want to open the tray. I didn't want to do that. Sure. I know it's a Pandora desk. What's the monster of the week? See what the monster of the week is. It's a blue ant. Yes, please add to the book. Nope. Nope. From book. So, we're supposed to raise a mochi. But, so here we got blue ant. The blue ant is an intelligence. Okay, so red ant is life, blue ant is intelligence, yellow ant is power. That's cool. It's a good or bad having so many monsters. Okay, so here's how the monsters actually work. We have a Suezo and we have a tiger. We'll use tiger for example. If you notice at the top here, I don't think do I have a pointer? I don't think I have a pointer I can use. Image source. Yeah, I don't have a pointer. But if you look in the right above the rank, you'll see 2 blue tigers. And that is this animal's default state, being blue. This particular animal is a doll that has been crossbred with a tiger. When you crossbreed 2 different monsters, you get some attributes from both of them. So if you take, in this case, a doll and a tiger, you put them together, you get a highly accurate, very fast doll, which can do typically physical attacks. Think Meowth from Pokemon, if you're familiar with that reference. The skeleton plant is the regular plant, the flowering plant, crossed with the skeleton plant. Because of that, it has a very high intelligence and a high life stat. Versus, I have another one in here, I think. Where's the other plant that I have? It's a mechanical plant. Where's the mechanical plant? I hate hunting for monsters in here. I have only 50. So here's the dog. Where's the plant? Here it is, coconutty. This is the mechanical plant. And if you notice its stats versus the skeleton plant, the stats are slightly different for the bases. Like the skeleton plant's faster. The mechanical one isn't as good in a lot of stats. So when you're working to figure out the best monsters, you have to take into consideration their base stats and what abilities they can learn. And sometimes you want to combine those stats together for different things. This game is based on everybody being a little similar, but different all at the same time. Like I have this one here, the Pharaoh's yellow ant, and I have the red ant here, both in my party right now. And you probably noticed they have similar movesets, but because of their base stats, they actually train differently. So it's actually really good to have different monsters. In a lot of games, they would have like a unique model for each monster. And in this game, what they did in the Monster Rancher series was they took a base model and a base skin, and they just retextured the model, and in some cases remodeled the model. Like in this one here, for the red ant, for the ant series, you notice the red ant and the blue ant are basically the same, with some minor differences to the texture, other than color. But the yellow one is completely unique. You know, it's got a completely different model. The headpiece is totally different. So they gave some unique looks. That's part of why I liked Monster Rancher. And what really makes Monster Rancher unique versus any other creature catching game is that in the original series, there's only two ways to get monsters. One was find them in the field. So if you found a monster stone in the field, or in this case, the whole mochi thing, which I'm trying to figure out how to do that. So you have that, but most of the time it's by saucer stones you find in the field. The second method is you can put in any CD or DVD into the PlayStation 2. If you're on the PlayStation 1 versions, so it's like Monster Rancher, I think 1 and 2 were on the PS1, and they would take CDs, audio CDs, you could put data discs in there, data CDs, or game discs for the PS1. The PS2 version takes all of that, plus it adds DVDs. The later versions, they went with basically entering passcodes, because discs were becoming less popular, and they moved over to mobile platforms, so they couldn't do discs at all. Like they went to the Game Boy Advanced and the Game Boy DS. I think it was the last one was on the Game Boy Advanced and DS. So they didn't have discs at all at that point. But the disc allowed them to do a lot, because they take a few pieces of information off the disc and generate monsters randomly from it. And your trainer rating, so like my breeder rank here, I am currently a rank B. So if I put a disc in and it is my rank or lower, so in this case, E, D, C, or B, I can raise any of those. So if the disc has a B or less monster on it, I can raise it. It'll let me add to the disc. If it happens to be an A or an S by some weird thing, and yes, they do exist out there, because every monster in the game can be generated off of a disc randomly. So I couldn't train those. In fact, I have discs that I tried when I first started playing that it said I couldn't actually use because the monster was going to be higher than my current breeder rank. So I have to go back at some point and run all my discs through. It's going to take forever because I am playing on native hardware, so I have to work with that. So it's a thing. And the only reason you can't, and this is probably one of the few games you can't actually do on an emulation software, because the emulation software doesn't support the disc swapping properly. So you can't do it, that you have to do this on native hardware. So not only is it fun, but it's one of the few games you have to do with the PlayStation 2. So I like it. I like the method. Yeah, it's a really cool method of, you know, doing a monster farm game. So well, the thing is that the emulation software for both the PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 is actually really good now. I'm actually playing Hack, that series is actually on the emulation software for the PC. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I started that series, I only had physical copies of the first 2 games. I didn't have the second, I didn't have 3 and 4. So it was, if I couldn't find a copy of 3 and 4, I was going to have to use ROMs for it off the computer. But I was able to get a hold of European copies that have English on them. So I can actually keep playing the game through those in the same playthrough without having to change systems or change to anything else. And I do have the original Japanese versions of the game, so I could play that too. But the only game I found that the emulators can't play properly is actually Monster Rancher, because you have to swap the disc in order for it to be able to progress properly, and the only disc you can use is the Monster Rancher disc because it doesn't support the disc swapping properly. So that mechanic causes you to not be able to use the emulation software, but you can still play the game. And you can find like monsters in the dungeons. So if I go into the cave system or I go into the jungle, I can get monster stones while I'm there. I just don't get as many options as quickly. So you can play the game without it if you had to. And they put that in there because some people didn't have a large variety of CDs and DVDs and whatever to be able to do the swapping thing. So it was a good way of keeping it balanced for everybody involved, so that even if you only had the one game and had no other method of getting monsters, you would still get them just by playing the game. You just were limited to which ones you could get, because you had to probably spend a lot more time in the dungeons than I do. And that's not really a bad thing. Where's the mochi doll? Mochi doll, mochi doll. Yeah. There's the mochi doll. Goodbye, gadgets. Belongings, items. So that contains the power of the spirit of emoji. Not that I know how to breed the mochi. Maybe if I go to the next week with a space free. Tell us to come back and we'll be able to generate our emoji and progress the story that way. Okay, so I'm gonna feed this guy a fish. But to be fair, I mean, I play a lot of these types of games, and I've actually found that while a lot of the different monster raising games are fun, this one is unique in that respect, in the way you get your monsters. It's totally unique. If you look at the other games from this time period that were monster raising, so Digimon, Pokemon, Magi something. That one was really cool. It was on the, I think it was the Super Nintendo? It's like Magi Quest or something like that. I forget what it was called. And it was really cool because it had a unique mechanic. I have to look that one up and do an excerpt from it, because that was really a lot of fun. Now let's think of. They had this one. So this one and the original Digimon World games were very similar. Because you would go out into the field, you would do some things, you'd raise your monsters, you'd train them, make them tougher, and then you'd go out into the field, you'd do some explorations, and as you traveled, you could raise your monsters up, and you could find new eggs or monsters along the way. But with like Pokemon or the games that are similar to that, you had to defeat them in battle, or you had to buy them or find them, and they were more of a story RPG versus the tame and train model like this. We're doing arena battles. So they really did have a nice, solid, unique player base between them all. Unfortunately, I don't know why. I guess it just kind of fell out of fashion. But Monster Rancher didn't do so well in the later years. And there's a couple reasons for that. One was they lost the mechanic because they moved to portable media to try and, duke it out with, like, Pokemon. But the other thing is that they also saw more games going digital. Oh! We just got picked up by the... Ouch. No, guts, really? Get him. Get him. Come on. Thank you. But losing the disc mechanic kind of made Monster Rancher a lot weaker in that respect. So it's a shame. I'd like to see a remaster or even a new game, new main series game come out, but with both Sony and Microsoft pushing really hard into the, oh wow, that hurt, into the going all digital. It kind of defeats the base mechanic, unfortunately. As I'd love to see it, but we're not going to, because the base mechanic, what makes it unique, is taken away. And what they replaced it with, like the portable versions for like the 3DS and whatnot, was just a passcode system. So if you just got a list of passcodes, you basically could have the most powerful monsters in the game on day one. And if you look up like the advanced version, for like guides and whatnot, that's exactly what they do. They say, these are the codes for the most powerful monsters in the game. Use them. And you go, okay. And you just type them in and you've got all the big monsters. It just defeats the purpose of it, unfortunately. Such a shame, too. That's true. It did kill a lot of franchises when they couldn't keep good, clean, fresh ideas. But in that respect, if you look at Final Fantasy from Square Enix, every single game for Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts, whatever. Not as much for Kingdom Hearts. But all of their games have, each one, even though they're in a series, they don't follow the same characters. So the Final Fantasy, the Dragon Quests, and so on. Each game in the different line is a completely unique game. It's got its own setting. They just happen to be tied together because they have similar concepts. Not because they're the exact same mechanics. Flip side, you look at Pokemon. Pokemon has not changed since it came out. And what was it, 94? I think it was? 1994? And it literally has not changed, aside from a few mechanics that have been added and removed and so on over the years. Aside from stuff like that, it really hasn't changed at all in 30 years. Almost 30 years. And that's impressive, because it hasn't changed, but they still have managed to keep the game selling. To the point at which they're re-releasing the original games for like the 4th or 5th time now. On the Switch. As they are. As they originally were with the upgraded Pokedexes. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, so this week we have nothing this week. Next week we have Red Ant's last fight. And then we have Ant's last fight the following week. Okay, so I don't know what the trigger is that we need. This is bad. We have a really bad spot that we're in. Because I don't know how to advance the story. At this point. Because it implied that we needed to use the mochi doll to create a new mochi, and because I'm full, yeah, there was a lot of reasons why Pokemon was successful. The TV show and movies by far, because they were well written and they were well received. Even now, it did help the games immensely. And if the games were standing on their own without that extra media support, you're right, I think they probably would have failed like everybody else. Oh, there he is. He's over there. I was gonna say, where's the silly plant? Can't feed the plant. People become a fan of Pokemon because of the series or because of the games, like Smash Bros. Well, Smash Brothers, that's a completely different thing. If people are in love with Pokemon, it's not because of Smash Brothers. Smash Brothers is just a nice extra fluff for them. is, I don't know what I'm supposed to do at this point. I can go to Rio. Think of your generation, ones that didn't grow up playing Pokemon. Watching Pokemon. Yeah. The... Anything interesting in here? Not really. Okay, so... I got nothing going on here. That wasn't helpful either. I was stuck with the emoji down. I don't know how to make emoji. This is bad. But yeah, the newer yeah, those that are new to the series now, it's interesting to see. I'm gonna go to the association real quick. Let's have a look here. Nope. Okay, well, I was hoping maybe the mochi dot would show up there. I wish Talt would have told us how to do this. Okay. Whatever. Alright, so we're gonna go through the week here. And we have 2 O's, one this week and one next week. And I think unless this game breaks open and tells us how to progress the story next, that might be it for this week. And I have to go look it up. I don't want to sit there and just farm weeks just to find out that was something silly that I had to do to progress the story. Even though it's not exactly a bad use of my time in the game, it's just not the optimal use of my time. So what I'm going to do here is, I think I'm just going to let him fight. See how he does on his own. Worst that can happen is... Nope, I'm going to let him fight his own. Let him do his own fight. Let's see how he does. And then go from there. Come on. Here we go, it's emoji. That didn't do out yeah. Oh no. It kissed us. Oh. Come on. Dodge, okay. It's not too bad. Nice. That was a good round. You did well. That was actually really good. So... Nope. I'll let him go. See if he can do this all on his own. because he's going against a blue ant. No, it's a different ant. This isn't the blue one. This is the... I don't know which ant this is. This is the tiger ant, maybe? I don't know. I don't know this ant. Ouch. That didn't last very long. Alright. That mochi was really bad. Now I'm against the whole dinosaur thing and see what he comes up with. Though the way he's been fighting, I don't think it's going to be an issue. This is a Suezo dinosaur. Okay. Shouldn't last very long. It's not a very good combination because the Suezo tends to be more of a intelligence accuracy versus the dinosaur tends to be a defense power. So it's not a strong combination. Neither, they don't support each other very well. Maybe that crossbreed. So that takes us to the next rank. There's also the possibility that I need to get to an A rank before I can progress. So there is that. Alright, so schedule. You get to rest. And everybody's good. Now, calendar. You passed your exam, so you're good there. And this week we have Yant going for his 3rd star. And I'm just gonna skip it. I'm not gonna do anything this week. Nobody was hungry, so. Out of curiosity, I think we'll just go ahead and let Yant go on his own and see if he can do it. Because that'll be kind of like a curiosity thing. To see what we've got going on here. And... Nope, I didn't do it. Oh, photo quit. He's strong enough that he shouldn't have any issues. Honestly, he really shouldn't have any issues in beating everybody up. So, there's not too many problems with that. Alright. This stupid hairy dog thing. Gotta see what he does. Almost gets knocked out in one hit, that's what he does. That's crazy. Yeah, there it goes. Told you, Yant's good. He's at least a, probably a C rank, to be honest. Even though he's down at E. He's probably at least a C at this point. I started him the same time I started, Creepy. So, because of that, I expect them to be on par with each other. The only downside is that because Yant is held back so long, he's got a lot of time to make up in order to get to the higher ranks. He will be a much older, more mature monster when he does finally get to where he should be in the ranking, which is a shame. But that's okay. It's alright. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, calendar. Schedule. He's good, he's hungry. Do meditation. And you know what? We're gonna change this week. No, this week. And I think what we're gonna do is let him do more defense. He doesn't do much defense, so. But we do have somebody who's hungry, so I need to feed them. Food, fish. One thing I love about this game, though, is it's not hard. You can teach a little kid how to play this game, and they can spend days, hundreds of hours, just raising little monsters. No issues. No significant problems. And they'll eventually progress the story, because they'll eventually find the right thing. Yeah, they get old. So the monsters, that's why it keeps telling you, it's like, hey, this monster's kind of getting old. And Garu, I froze him anyway. He's getting around to the point at which he needs to be retired. So they'll get to a point where they're just too old, and it says this monster can no longer fight. And at that point, you have to freeze him. There's nothing you can do except freeze him. In the case of, in this case, I froze him early because I was making that space because they want me to do the whole mochi thing, and I don't know how to do the mochi thing. So it's like, okay, well, maybe we'll just figure it out. But it'll come up eventually. So I just need to keep a slot open so they can do the mochi thing. But maybe. Just maybe. So I think I'm just gonna let Radiant go for the league battle and see if he can get to his B rank by himself. Should be entertaining to watch. No, I'm just gonna let it go. He's been doing really well up to this point, so I'm just gonna let him go and see how he does. He does as well as I do. If not better. And then, oh my gosh! That's crazy damage! Come on, you can do it. Come on, get him. Oh, thank goodness. Wow, that scared me. I thought I was gonna die in that one hit. Okay, note to self, he needs more defense. His agility and defense are not high enough to compensate for that. But yeah, the age thing, if I remember correctly, this game does the age thing. And I think, like, the early Digimon World games, like 1 and 2. Oh, he's cool. The Black Obsidian Gato. Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I think they did an age thing too. Where your Digimon would die of old age. I think we're gonna lose this fight. That's it. But yeah, the age thing is it's a unique mechanic because it forces you to train your monsters rigorously and most efficiently as possible, because you only have a certain amount of time with them, and then you have to retire them, and they're gonna quit. Nice. And then you have to raise a new monster from you know, baby up through adulthood. It's a really unique mechanic. I like it because it allows you to play the game basically indefinitely and always have new adventures. And every time you combine two monsters to generate a new one, that monster it takes the traits of both parents. So, while it's not like it's got to start with all their stats, ouch! That hurt. It does start with much higher stats than it normally would. And it's based on the parent's stats. So you take two high power stats. So you have high power and high accuracy and high agility. So you dodge and you're highly accurate, and you have really hard physical or intellectual attacks, and they're both the same in those respects. They will start with really high stats versus the defaults, which just have really low garbage stats to begin with. And you have to spend more time leveling them up. So you don't have to spend as much time leveling them up to get them to that rank. So if you have two Bs, your retirement, you know, that B range, they can't quite get to A, and then you breed them together because they're as compatible monsters. That monster will be a BC monster in like half the time. And it's the same thing. If you get them to S, they'll get to like BA in like half the time that those two S's were bred together. So you get these really powerful monsters really quickly. Which is something you don't have like with Pokemon if you breed Pokemon. Yes and no. If you just breed them to breed them, you have almost no benefit. You have to breed them with the stats that will reinforce each other, and they get a certain percentage of the stats. So if you have, say, high power on two monsters, when you breed them together, the new monster will have a high power stat based on the two parents. So it's if it's supposed to have like 100 normally, and both your parents have really high, let's say B level power stats, you may be really close to 200 or over 200 as your base power, instead of starting at 100. So you're starting with really high stats on top of the normal stat for your monster. And that helps them mature faster. And the higher their stats, the higher their ranking, the faster that they will, the higher the stats are, the faster they can level up. Because they're already that much farther ahead. It's a really interesting mechanic, and we'll get to experience that soon, because like the wolf, he's getting ready to get retired, and already retired Garu. So the two of them are getting to that age. The question is, do I want to actually breed them together? And that's the question I gotta ask. And I may not. I may decide not to breed them together. And then, kind of wait until I have monsters that I want to breed together. Because, like, I love the wolf, but I don't know if I want to, I want to breed the wolf. So, it's going to be an interesting thing when I get that far. And we have a competition this week for Yant to level up, and we're going to go ahead and let him do his own fighting, because he's good at it. And there's no real chance of loss, because he's already a rank C monster. He's just stuck in D because, in E, because you can only do one at a time. Now, once you get all 4 arenas active, you can level up faster anyway, because you can put more through fights. So that's really the limitation that you have, is that you don't have very many tag team or group fights. Tag team being 2 monsters, groups being 3. So you can't get everybody's rank up, because there aren't very many fights when you get to the higher tiers. And however, once you've got all 4 gyms open, it's actually not that bad. I was gonna say, these should be on auto. It should have taken off a long time to fight. Because then you have like group and groups or tag teams matches. So you take them into the dungeon so they can level up and get new attacks. And you put them into these group matches so that you can have more of them get their stars and whatnot that they need. And my window went wonky for a second there. Looks like the stream's lagging. It's possible there's an issue. I'll type. So I'll ask the silly question here and see what they say. once in a while the stream hiccups and it either legitimately has an issue or it just starts giving me bad errors. And I don't know which it is at the moment. But I will pull up the stream window real quick and have a look. See what the channel actually looks like. Yeah, it's a little laggy. Looks like it's getting... It's losing a few frames. It's not too bad from the look of it. But in any case, we're about done for the night anyway. So, and those will go over the... Oh my god, I just blew through him. We'll just go ahead and, no, go for it. Go to quit. That's good. What's this? Yeah, every once in a while we get poor stream quality, which is kind of sad. Such a shame. And it's kind of interesting because it usually happens right at the end of the stream. Because I usually stream until about now. And usually around this time is when it will start acting really weird. Oh, come on. Get in there. Don't let him beat you in the butt. Come on. Good. Good. Beat him up. Oh, we may lose this fight. That rabbit is really kicking our butt. That pink hair is gonna get us if we're not careful. Just gotta see what we're gonna do. We're gonna lose, we're gonna win. Now, if he does lose, I'll be surprised, because this is an E-fight. And he should have this in the bag. But... oh, sweet. We hit the counter. That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. Yeah, there's usually one monster that gives you 6 fits. And in this case, it looks like it was the hair. Which is interesting because everybody else had problems with the duck. Which is kind of funny. Yeah, the stream is lagging. That point, I forgot. That was that problem. Yeah, it's the... yeah, streaming on... I'm used to streaming on Twitch or using a buffer service. Because a couple years ago I was streaming on Twitch, but I left that environment because they're just really negative and I just, no. I'm not dealing with that negativity. I just don't have it here. Wish I were people to talk to like you, but it's an issue. But this time of night, YouTube seems to have issues. Which is usually why I end up calling it a night somewhere around now. It's also why I like streaming this game versus some of the other games, because if it lags for a few seconds or the audio is garbage and you can't understand me or hear me, you can still enjoy the game if it is at like 15 frames a second with bad audio. It's still an enjoyable game to watch. Which is a lot of why I stream this, and then I will pre-record the games that I really want to have high quality. Like, so I'm debating if I want to stream Claire de Lune tomorrow. Though if it's doing this, I will probably not. And just do a pre-recording and then post it up on like Thursday or something. Post it up on a Thursday episode. Okay, so, calendar. There is good news. Unfortunately, we have no level C combatants. However, we do have a D combatant for the first time. We have an S combatant we have a B combatant for the first time in a while. I might let him do that. So we'll do Tig as our C combatant. And for September, I can't do a tag team because I only have one